welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is Observer System Redux. So, Observer, this is actually a game that's been floating around for a fair amount of years. The original version came out in 2017, which a bit of time at this stage, 4 years. But has seen many versions and remasterings. The System Redux, I believe, is actually a repackaging of this game and the DLC. Anyway, so before I get into what Observer is, I do have to preface this particular review by noting targets. So we got the PlayStation 4 version of this game, which means Petty Fan will be handling the body of the review. But everything we have seen and what Petty has played through, the target of this version seems to be the PlayStation 5. In fact, on the fact sheet here, the first thing is PlayStation 5 Enhancements. It wants you to know that you can enjoy massively reduced loading times thanks to the SSD and experience an augmented level of immersion with the DualSense controller. Feel object resistance, surface texture, damage feedback, heartbeat simulation, and more thanks to the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. So it looks like they took a great deal of care in optimizing Observer System Redux for the PlayStation 5. We do not have a PlayStation 5 in our collective possession right now. We don't even have a PlayStation 4 Pro. All that Petty has is a base PlayStation 4.
Technically a Slim, but yeah.
And that's going to affect the review, because apparently the performance is fairly awful. Now, we can't say for certain, but that definitely does state a prioritization towards the PlayStation 5 version. Although that could just be the lack of horsepower with the base PlayStation 4. When it comes to multi-generational games, it can be an either or and. Can't really say what the case is here, but we do need to bring it to the forefront because other PlayStation versions of this game will not see the performance issues that we experienced. Anyway, with that in mind, as far as what Observer is, the year is 2084. The future has turned out much darker than anyone could imagine. I know, I've seen some pretty imaginative people here. Especially since, let's be honest, you're maybe not necessarily directly, but you're invoking the works of Philip K. Dick. Since, for fuck's sakes, they got Rutger Hauer to play the protagonist. If you don't know who that is, he was the God, trying to remember his name in Blade Runner. He was the main replicant or the lead replicant. It's been a while since I've seen Blade Runner, and but anyway, you play as Daniel Lazarski, an elite investigator of the future, portrayed by late cyberpunk icon Rutger Hauer. As an observer, you hack into the minds of suspects to extract clues and evidence. Anything they left, thought, or remembered can and will be used to solve your case. Using a device known as the Dream Eater, so you're the good guy here. Hack into the minds of the dead and dying to relive their final moments, to explore their fears and obsessions. Delve into the twisted neural mazes and search for clues that will help you find the elusive killer. But beware, the deeper you go, the greater the risk to losing your own sanity. I mean, I will give credit to this. So this is a Bloober Team game. You probably know Bloober Team for their horror games. They did the Blair Witch game, the Layers of Fear series, much more recently The Medium, and they're all horror, like classically themed or modern or what have you. They're all in the indie horror genre, and they're seen as one of the pioneers with their first layer fear game. Observer is clearly a bit of a different beast. So once again, to give us the body of the review, Petty Fan, take it away.
See, I'm going to be upfront. If you're looking into this game and you just have regular PS4, don't even bother. The loading times, the stutter, and just all that is terrible. But as far as story goes, it's kind of interesting. Basically, Daniel gets some sort of communication from his estranged son, and he ends up tracing it to this apartment in the slums. And upon looking around where he thinks his son contacted him from, he finds a decapitated body with forged IDs. So he needs to make sure whether or not that's his son, because the usual ID scanning that a cyberized cop would have is coming up inconclusive stuff. So you're basically going around the facility trying to see if you can find any clues on who knows, who this person was, what happened to him, and so on and so forth. There also is something about a great war that happened a long time ago that, I guess, cyber soldiers that are similar from the police, they had a problem where they would go rogue and just kind of kill people. So everybody's really scared around you for obvious reasons. So it's somewhat difficult to get information out of people. And there are also some people who have no implants at all, and they act like they're above everybody else. So, as far as other story stuff, there is a mechanic where you need to take these pills. I don't really know what they are, but I don't know if it's you either die or you go berserk if the HP thing runs out for them. So I don't know if there is more after this facility or if it's just this, because I'm not that far in. Hello? Oh.
Hello?
I just heard a very loud fan. I didn't know.
Yeah, me too.
I know you kind of cut off there.
No, he didn't cut off. I think you did.
Like, weird.
But yeah, I think there's trying to be some sort of either horror or just spooky element. So there is that. There's some sort of monster. I don't know. Like, I forget its name, but it's part of the reason why the facility you're in is in lockdown, or at least perceived to be. So you're looking to either find a way to turn off this lockdown so you can, report to the station and see if they can figure out who this guy is that was murdered. Or catch and or do something about this creature if there is one, because they're not sure if it's a creature or just a system malfunction. Any questions so far?
Not really.
You have a couple different, I guess, vision powers. You have a biometric thing, which is, you can scan living people or organic matter, and there's an electromagnetic one for scanning, various cybernetic things and whatnot. And yeah, overall the game's intriguing. I just really wish that it worked better on PS4, or I could at least try it on a PS5 or PS5 or PS4 Pro. So yeah. So far I haven't come into any like actual combat. So I don't know if it's all just adventure game, 3D, whatnot. But yeah.
How does the game control?
See, that's kind of hard to say because of the technical issues. Because even just walking around, it's stuttery. Anything else?
Not from my perspective.
Alex, you got anything?
Not really.
All right, so what are we looking at price-wise?
So pricing, the game clocks in at $30.
And that gives you
that
PS4
is-
and PS5 access?
It says specifically on the PlayStation Store, PS4 and PS5. And it's got the, it does note to play the game on the PS5, your system may need to be updated to the latest system software. Although the game is playable on PlayStation 5, some features available on PS4 may be absent. It seems like to be a base, it's a PlayStation 4 game enhanced to the PlayStation 5, or I'm honestly not sure how that's working, because I also know that they do like two different SKUs for PlayStation games.
Maybe? I don't have a PS5, so I can't tell you,
Yeah, it's like that's one of those things that's a bit beyond us, but it's also available on the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, and the PC. But it is the same price no matter what. The Steam version has a few extras. A deluxe edition at $34.99. That's including the soundtrack and the art book.
Yeah, I would probably look into the PC version if you don't have either a PS4 Pro or PS5. If your only option is just regular PS1 or PS1, PS4, then just pass on this one.
Unfortunate, but
yeah, it's an interesting story, but its technical limitations make it nigh unplayable.
Well, I mean that's kind of where the PlayStation 4 is in terms of a lot of games. It's no longer the current gen system. Hell, it hasn't been the current gen system for a while. The PlayStation 4 Pro. But my point is, a lot of games just run fairly horribly on the base PlayStation 4 these days. And your option is you will have to upgrade.
Yeah, and that's something I'll look into one day.
I mean, you need a couple $100.
Well, you hear that the new PlayStation 5s they're making now have 300 grams less of heatsink.
Yeah, I would probably be fixing that.
If you could.
You can, it's the same internal layout. That's something we can talk about another time.
Right. I'm just saying that's not unless you're a big PC aficionado, ironically enough. It's
Looking
not
Yeah,
at
a lot of people who use PlayStations would not be able to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me on my custom built computer. I think I got it.
Anyway, so I think that'll about do it for Observer System Redux. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Golics will be reviewing Freddy Spaghetti 2.